This video is to show how to prepare your document for review and how to add comments and stamps in Adobe Acrobat Pro DC. After you have your document open, you're going to look over to the right and make sure the Tools pane is visible. If for some reason it isn't, you're going to go up to the very top and find View and left click on that. Go down to Show/Hide and hover over it. A pop-up menu will appear and you're going to left click on Tools pane. A check mark will appear beside it. If you already have the Tools pane open like I do, that check mark will already be there. So once your Tools pane is visible, you're going to go all the way down and find Scan and OCR and left click on it, and a menu will appear and you're going to look for Enhance, left click on it, and then choose Scanned Document. Then you'll look for a blue button that says Enhance, left click on that, and this will properly align your document. You'll notice that before hitting the Enhance button, the image on the page was slightly off center, and now it is appearing straight, and we can close the Scan and OCR menu. Go back to that Tools pane menu and look for Organize Pages and left click on that. There's only one page in this document, so there isn't anything we need to organize, but if you had more than one page in this document, you would be able to use these arrows to rearrange the pages if you needed to. If you needed to add more pages to your document, you could do so. And there's other options here that you can use in addition to more options. Once you have the page organized the way that you want, you can close this menu and your document is now ready to be reviewed. You can now add comments and stamps. So you go back to the Tools pane and you look for the comment icon, left click on that, and you'll notice you have new options that appear that allows you to add text, add stamps, and add drawing tools. Now the drawing tools, if you left click on this arrow beside it, it gives you all of the different options of tools that you can add. If you want all of those options to appear in the menu like all of the other options that you see there, you can just click on Expand Drawing Tools if you prefer. I don't prefer for it to show that way, so the square that is at the end of the last tool, I just left click on that and it collapses that particular menu. And I will be able to still add my drawing tool by clicking on the arrow, and I'm going to choose the oval and go down my page and find where I want to add it. I want to add it above the 13, so I just left click and hold down and then release when I have the look that I want. And you'll notice there's a circle in this menu where I can left click on it and change the color if I wanted to. I can also change the opacity so it shows more clearly, or I can completely cover the number where you don't see it at all, what's underneath the circle, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to make sure the opacity is set to a lower percentage. And then I prefer for it to be as clear as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the color as white. So I'm going to change it to white and leave it at that. And then I could change the thickness of the line of the circle by increasing the points, but I'm going to leave it at a smaller point so that it's a thinner line. Now when I'm ready to add another drawing tool, I just click on Drawing Tools and choose from the menu. I'm going to choose an arrow, and then I'm going to find where I want it to display and just left click, hold down, and drag to where I want it to end. And again, if I wanted to change the thickness of that arrow, I would just click on this icon in the menu, and I would be able to make that arrow thicker or thinner. Now you'll notice as I'm adding drawing tools to the document, it is also appearing in my comments. So everything that I do to mark up this document will display in this area as well. So now I'm going to add comments by clicking on the T, left click on that, and then left click on the document where I want the text to appear, and then just start typing. If I wanted to change the font size, color, type, what have you, you'll notice that a box appeared here in the top, and I can change the color if I wanted to. I could change the size, type, what have you. But I like the way that it was showing before, so I'm just going to change it back. And then I'm going to make a comment somewhere else also on the document. And once I do that, you notice that the comment that I just made is now showing up in this area. And if I make a new comment, then it will also show there. So I'm going to put and then click out of it. And once I click out of it, then the comment is showing to the right as well. So I am done making comments. So now I want to add stamps. And I go back up to this top menu and I look for the icon that looks like a stamp, and that's this one. So I'm going to left click on it and it gives me a pop-up menu, and I'm going to make sure that Show Stamp Names has a check mark beside it, because I want to be able to click on Standard Business, and you can actually hover over it, and I want a pop-up menu list to appear letting me know all the stamps I've already added and that are now available to me to add to my page. If I did not have Show Stamp Names clicked with that check mark beside it, whenever I hover over Standard Business, it will not show me the list. Now, what I want to do is add any stamps that are not showing in my list. And if you're just doing this, then you're going to have to add all of the stamps that you need, and you'll have to do it one at a time. And what I'm going to show you now is how you do that. So you just hover over custom stamps, then go over to where it says create and left click on that. A menu will appear where you can look for your stamps. So I'm going to go to browse, and I'll show you where you'll look for your stamps that should already be created for you. So I'm going to go to Development Services Main, then I'm going to go to Development Services Documents, and then I'm going to go to Send Perm, and then CP's DRT, and then Adobe Pro. So all the stamps that you need should be in this folder. Also, you have some PDFs here that you can look at to help you. And this one says creating a stamp in Adobe. You have a practice site plan that you can open and practice what is being done in this video. You also have slides that are a write-up of what is being done in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the stamps, and I'm going to add reviewed by, and once it loads, it will then be added to the list, the standard business list, and it will be available to be added to your document. So now that it's appearing, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Then I'm going to go to category and add standard business so that it goes to that list. And then I'm just going to name this stamp and then hit OK. And so now it's added to the list, and you have to go back to that list to add it to your document. So you go back to the stamp, left click on that, go to standard business, then find your stamp, which is reviewed by 4. And then you'll notice as I'm moving my cursor around, I now have the stamp available to add to my page. I'm going to go all the way to the top. I'm just going to add it right here. And then I'm going to add text to it by going back to my tools pane all the way to the far right beside my comments. And in this menu, I'm going to look for Edit PDF. And then I'm going to left click on Edit PDF. And you'll notice that I got a menu to the top and to the right. In the top, I have where I can add my text. So I'm going to left click on that. And then I'm going to left click where I want to add the text. I want to add by the date. And you'll notice if I wanted to change the color, the font size, the font type, I can do that over here in the right in this formatting menu. And I actually am going to change the font type, and I'm going to change that to Calibri. And I'm going to change the font size to 14 and leave the color black. So I'm going to put the date, and then I'm going to put initials, and then you're all done. So make sure you save it. So hopefully this has been helpful, and thank you for watching.